Today I'm making boom boom sauce, and I'm going to use this to pour over chicken enchiladas. This is requested by a follower, so here we go. So I had a request to make Chuy's Tex-Mex restaurant boom boom enchiladas. For those of you that aren't familiar with Chuy's, this is a Tex-Mex restaurant chain, and on the menu they have a boom boom sauce. And you can use that for dipping, but they also like to put this over chicken and cheese enchiladas. So I'm starting with a pound of chicken breast. I have in a baggie with cooking oil. I'm going to season with chicken fajita seasoning. By the way, season how you like. Or you could use rotisserie chicken. Here I'm adding some garlic, pepper, and salt mix, onion powder. I'm also going to add some Maggi seasoning into the mix, and some smoked paprika. The amounts are kind of up to you. I'm eyeballing. Here's a little pinch of sugar. And now I'm just going to enclose this baggie and just give everything a mix and just combine the seasonings and smear it all over the chicken. And I'm going to let that marinate in the fridge for about 30 minutes or so. And you definitely can use rotisserie chicken already cooked from the store. Okay, so here I preheated my pan, cooking oil, and I'm going to start cooking my chicken breast. I'm going to sear them on both sides and then just let it cook until it is done in the center. So Chuy's Tex-Mex restaurant has a YouTube channel, and they actually have a very quick video on just mixing up their boom boom sauce, and that's kind of what I used for the recipe resource. So I will link that in the description below so you can check it out. Okay, so I'm going to cover this with a lid, continue cooking, and then I'll let it rest after. Here, I want to show you the ingredients for the sauce. I'm using a 16-ounce jar of Hatch Valley green chilies. These are flame roasted, and I'm just going off of what the recipe says. They use New Mexico chilies. Here, I have a jalapeno, some lime, cilantro, a spring or green onion, and I'm just going to chop that up. I'm also using a tomatillo, just one. Some of the ratios are up to you, and here I'm going to add some chicken bouillon powder. I'm also going to salt to taste. Okay, so my chicken is probably done. I'm going to shut off the heat, and I'm going to remove it from the pan, and I'm going to place it into a bowl. And before shredding, I'm just going to let the chicken breast rest. And then once it kind of rests and it's easier to handle, it's not so hot, I'll shred it up. So for the tortillas, I'm going to pass them and give them like a very quick light fry in hot cooking oil. And this is to make the tortillas soft, pliable, easier to roll, and it also helps to keep the texture when you sauce the enchiladas. So I'm just going to repeat the process for, I think the amount of chicken I'm making today will make at least 9 to 10 enchiladas. And I'm going to skip out on the cheese in the filling for the enchilada, but you can definitely add like 4 ounces of shredded cheese with the shredded chicken. That's actually the original recipe from the restaurant, but I only had enough for the sauce, so there's that. Okay, so the chicken is shredded and ready. I already prepped all of my corn tortillas, so now it's time to roll up these. Actually right now it's kind of like a chicken taquito, and just give it a tight roll, pull back on the tortilla before you finish the roll just to keep everything in place. I'm sort of just adding chicken, and like I said, add some shredded cheese into the mix. I'm skipping out on that today. So I have these rolled and done. Now for the sauce. In a blender cup, I'm going to add all of my fresh ingredients. I'm going to start with the juice of half of this lime. I like to say that ratios for like lime, salt, seasoning, spice is up to you. In the original recipe, I believe they use serrano peppers, but I cannot handle the heat, neither can my family, so I went with 1 jalapeno, and I tried to remove most of the seeds. Okay, everything in the cup, and now I'm just going to add that 16-ounce jar of flame roasted chilies. I also added a little bit of water, maybe a 1/3 cup into the jar, and I'm adding that into the blender cup and the salt and chicken bouillon, and give it a whirl. And you'll just want to puree this. In a preheated pan, I'm going to pour my green salsa. And I'm going to let this simmer for about 5 minutes. You can see it splattering everywhere. Just be careful. I had that pan really hot. And at this point, you'll also want to taste for salt and seasoning and adjust to your preference. I am going to cover this with a lid, so as it simmers, it just doesn't splatter everywhere. And after a little bit of time, I tasted it. I need more chicken bouillon powder. Again, season and salt to your preference, and let that simmer for a couple of minutes. And I am going to add 6 ounces of shredded American cheese. That's all I had in my fridge. Some of you are probably cringing right now or wondering, why am I adding shredded American cheese to this green salsa? Look, I don't make the rules. This is just the way that that restaurant makes this sauce. And if you want to give it a try, go for it. It's not bad. It's pretty good. Okay, so I've added my 6 ounces of shredded American cheese. And over a low heat setting, I am just going to start mixing this in and getting it melty and combined with the sauce. Okay, so here are my rolled chicken tacos, and now I'm just going to ladle over this sauce all over the top. And it's as simple as that. And this sauce is great for dipping. They actually serve this sauce in the restaurant, the boom boom sauce, as a dipping sauce. So maybe try this for your next plate of nachos. It'll probably taste good. Okay, so going right over all of these chicken enchiladas, and like I stated earlier, if you want this to be filled with chicken and cheese, go for it, because that's how the original is served. But this is what I'm doing today. I hope you give this recipe a try. I hope you like it, and thanks for watching.